Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video right here on Solana. We're going to do a full update on Solana right here. It was holding up relatively well. I would still say, or I would still argue it's holding up relatively well. We're now at that support level right here with the 90-day rolling VWAP. Around 142, 143. That's holding so far, but ultimately, yeah, there's quite a lot we need to talk about regarding Solana. So that's what we'll do in this video, and we'll mainly talk about what to expect from the price here on the short term, of course. But for that, I think we need to talk about some fundamentals as well. So let's start off with that. And if you're interested in Solana updates, consider subscribing. I try to make a video on Solana every other day, right? So the next one will most likely be on Saturday. So hopefully I'll see you then again. But what I try to do in every one of these updates is take a look at the fundamentals, right? I believe we had some updates regarding fundamentals regarding the Solana ETF in the last week. I think some tickers were registered, and I think some other applications were postponed or delayed. Honestly, I don't think that matters too much for the prospects of a Solana ETF. Maybe it pushes back the dates that people expected that they would be approved a little bit. That's a possibility. But honestly, for me, it doesn't really matter whether Solana is going to get some bullish momentum because of the ETFs, because I don't think it's priced in, but we'll get to that in a moment. For me, it doesn't matter whether that happens here at the end of June or that it happens in September or October, right? Ultimately, I'll be ready for that. And honestly, but we'll talk about that a little bit later as well here. If we get some lower prices before we actually get some more Solana ETF headlines, that would actually be that would actually be great. So we had some news regarding that, but ultimately I don't think that matters too much. Why is this now in a line? I would like to have it in bars, please, and I would like to see year to date. Is this new? Oh no, here it is. All right, so DEX trading volumes on Solana still increasing. That's great news, and that's also one of the main things that, you know, at this point of time, the technicals of Solana are a little bit decoupled from the fundamentals. I would argue, and I say this in every video, but that's for the people that are new here, right, that are watching this video for the first time. I would argue that the fundamentals for Solana right now are decoupled from the price. The price right now of Solana is basically in the same area and at the same levels as it was for the majority of last year, from April until October. And the fundamentals right now are much better, all right? Volume is at the same levels, but the DEX trading volumes are higher. We are most likely going to get a Solana ETF, potentially even with staking, which is very interesting because that would be the first ETF with staking implemented as well. So I don't think Solana deserves to be at these prices, but most of the price action right now for Solana honestly is very dependent on worldwide fundamentals and Bitcoin, right? So in that sense, I actually don't see any reason, except for the fundamentals, to expect bullish momentum. You know, bounce from this support level, yeah, that's a possibility. But ultimately, I think we'll remain stable. And then as long as the fundamentals remain unstable and uncertain like this, I would say it's most likely, or at least I would say it's best to assume that we can still have a drop into 125, which is the value area low and the main support level of this range. And that's a little bit of a secret that I'll tell you here. I think that's an area where I will buy Solana. Look, it's always uncertain whether these range lows will hold, and it's never a guaranteed buy. It just never is, right? Sometimes a buy looks certain. It isn't, right? Very often when a buy looks certain, it's actually very uncertain. But regarding these fundamentals, like I don't see these fundamentals having a short-term impact, but I do think they will make a difference when we actually hit a major support level where whales can start to get back into the price. So yeah, I would say short term, just stability is most likely, and that this is a possibility based on, you know, if we see an escalation in the Middle East or something. But stability, I think, is most likely right now for Solana. And then, if we actually do get lower prices, I would say that's a buy opportunity. But I'll still keep you updated on that in new videos as well. I think for now, that's what you need to know. So thank you for watching. Take care and bye.